think that we may reincarnate as people over and over again. There are theories as to why this process exists, but no one knows for sure. That said, what are some of the signs that your soul may be reincarnated? We at Smart is the New Sexy tried to find the answer to this question. So here are 12 signs that will reveal to you the truth about you and your past lives. Watch the video till the end and you will know how some body pains are connected with reincarnation. Number 12. Unexplainable fears or phobias. Many people believe that certain memories or experiences can pass on or leave residues in our childhoods and adulthoods from past lives. Whether this is true or simply a form of problem bypassing, many people believe that we can experience the echoes of past traumas in our own lifetimes in the form of unexplainable fears and phobias. Examples can include the fear of drowning, the fear of certain types of animals, the fear of certain places, the fear of particular numbers, colors, objects, and so forth. Number 11. You feel like an old soul. Perhaps you are someone who feels like they have an old soul. This unique feeling can possibly be a reflection of the actual age of your soul. If you feel wise beyond your years, or that you're much more mature than your age should call for, it is possible that your soul has been around for one or more previous lives. This maturity and depth will likely take you far in life, as you'll literally be years ahead of your peers. Number 10. Out-of-place memories. This happens to children in particular quite often. Kids are a lot closer to the crossing over point for a soul than adults are, and they're often able to recall things from past lives much easier. As a kid, did you have memories you couldn't quite place? Did they take place with people who aren't actually a part of your current life, or in a period of time that doesn't include the time you've been alive? Having out-of-place memories is common in people who have had past lives. The more past lives you've had, the more these memories may occur. The brain can play tricks on us though, so be careful not to rush to judgment on this one. Number 9. Precognition, also known as future sight or second sight. Precognition is the ability to obtain information about future events that isn't usually available. Precognition can be experienced through visions, physical sensations, and feelings, as well as in dreams. While considered quasi-scientific by some, to others, precognition is a very real experience and could indicate the maturation of soulful energy. Number 8. Retrocognition. You probably guessed it. Retrocognition is the opposite of the previous, precognition, and refers to the ability to obtain information not usually available about past events. These past events could be in your own lifetime or sometimes in the distant past. Of course, retrocognition, unlike precognition, is not easy to prove or verify. However, for those who have genuinely experienced it and have been able to honestly verify it, this ability could also be a sign of soulful reincarnation. Number 7. You keep having the same dream. Do you have strange dreams that happen over and over again in the exact same way every time? Well, there can be many explanations for your dreams. If you're experiencing a specific recurring dream, it may be a way of revealing your past life. These recurring dreams can take many forms, and it might be a sign that your soul is recalling memories from the other life, one that your current incarnation didn't experience, but your previous one did. Number 6. You routinely experience déjà vu. This happens to everyone at some point or another, right? We're not talking about the occasional bits and pieces of déjà vu we experience. We mean déjà vu that is clearly an indication that you've been somewhere before, met someone before, and it impacts your knowledge of certain things. People who have been reincarnated may visit an unfamiliar city or country and know exactly where things are and how to get around. People who have been reincarnated may know an older person, even their name and background, even though you haven't actually met in this lifetime. Number 5. You're strongly empathetic. Empaths are people who aren't able to shake the feelings of others terribly well. Highly empathic people may have trouble being in a crowded space full of people. They often directly feel the experiences of the people around them. Sometimes people use empathy to forget their own problems and deal with other people. But it could be a real sign that your soul has had previous incarnations and is more geared toward healing the world than the self. Number 4. You don't feel at home. Not just in your home, but in your town, in your state, even in your country, continent, or culture. You just don't feel quite right about it. Yearning to feel like you're home may be a sign that your soul had a love for a certain culture or period in time that it no longer gets to have, or that your soul may pine for the oneness that it occupies before being planted in a new body. Souls that have been around for a long time may feel a deep desire to go back to the collective pool of souls on the other side. Number 3. You made no strong connection with your parents. This one is almost exclusively experienced in children. As a child, you might love and respect your parents, but you don't have that pull toward them, that unconditional love and appreciation for them. Why? A previous incarnation may have died young, and it simply misses its parents from that time. Have you had dreams about having other parents? Could you recall their names and where they lived? Or did you never really have that close fondness with your parents? It may be a sign that you've lived once before. Number 2. You have a strong intuition. Intuition stems from the ability to tap into wisdom and knowledge that isn't readily available for us to articulate. Sometimes these bits and pieces of wisdom come from experiences you've had already in your life, but that isn't always the case. Those of us who tend to be wise and in control may simply be more soulfully mature. If you have a strong intuition, it may be an indication that your soul springs from a well of past experiences just waiting to be tapped into. And number 1, you recognize someone as a soulmate. One of the more romantic ideas involved with past lives is that of a soulmate. Soulmates supposedly transcend time and place, overcoming all obstacles to be together. If you recognize someone as a soulmate, especially if you get that feeling with a stranger, it is possible that you were also soulmates in a previous life. This beautiful idea implies that two souls will continue to find one another, regardless of where or when they exist. Bonus! Do you ever get strange headaches and pains that seemingly have no cause? Do you have sudden phantom pain for a brief moment, only to notice that the pain has disappeared a moment later? This may be a sign that you experienced some kind of injury or trauma in a previous life. You may still recall the feeling of this injury, even though you're in a completely new body. Which of these past life signals apply to you? Do you think that you've lived a past life? Let us know in the comments. Remember to click subscribe to be among the smart and the sexy.